What's up, everybody? Welcome to Talon Talk. My name is Cloudy. We have a jam-packed week for you. We're moving into the playoffs. We're very excited to recap the playoffs and look at all of our matchups here. We have a packed lobby here with all of our guests this week. Let's start by introducing all of them. First off, I have the power couple of the league. It's Boulter and Lolli. What's up, guys?
Hi.
Sorry, I thought you were going to say Boulter and Jcolli.
I didn't expect that.
Also, the best main tank on Glass and Foot, it's Jcolli. What's up?
What the fuck?
Excuse me? Excuse me?
Yo, what's up?
And then also, we have Faded Eclipse here from SDG to represent them. What is up?
Hi, I'm the guy that coaches the bad team.
Oh.
Don't say that. Oh boy. Yeah, so we have a packed lobby here. We're ready to look at the playoffs, recap last week's matches, and maybe do some fun stuff in the middle there with some MVPs and whatnot, but we will get to that. First off, if you guys don't know, playoffs are here, as I've said 6 times already. So this week in our first round of the playoffs, we have Zen's Garden versus Shimada Samurais, and we also have Darkmount versus Republic Rebels. Some exciting matchups there, and we will review all of them. We also have the consolation bracket this week, and moving forwards. So the consolation bracket will end up with the final standings for the league. So everybody, don't be throwing your games yet. The games still matter, I swear. Also, the most important news of the entire week, Glass and Foot and Aftermath are having a streamed scrim this week. On Saturday night, it's probably going to be like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and it's going to be a blast. We're probably going to have people casting that, and it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to rolling over Boulter's team, so that's that.
Okay, buddy. All right.
Also, you probably already know already, but there was a bonus episode this week. It was myself, Lucky, and Boulter. We sat down and talked about the regular season and kind of recapped. We did a recap of every single team, discussed how their season went. By the time you're listening to this, that will already be out. So give that a listen. And that's about it for the news. There's a new website. I'm sure you saw that already. And yeah, so that's all the news. How's everyone doing?
I'm just upset I wasn't invited to the bonus episode.
Me too.
Oh boy.
Me too.
Boulter, you were there. Shut the fuck up. Alright. Well, let's jump right into it and let's recap some of last week's games. And we're going to start off because 2 Glass and Foot members are here. We're going to start off with the Glass and Foot match. It's going to be Glass and Foot versus Guyana. This was 3-1 for Glass and Foot. And it was not a one-sided game like we kind of expected. Actually, it was a pretty decent match. In the first map and the last map were pretty decent. The other 2 were kind of one-sided. Guyana really showed some hope in the first map and put up a good fight against Glass and Foot. And kind of looked like they might push against Glass and Foot a little bit. And that was gone by map 3. So Glass and Foot obviously won that match. What do you guys think of this one? Somebody go.
You want to go first, Boulter?
I'll go first. Yeah.
Wait. Do you want the GIF people to go last?
Just anybody, take your pick. Go ahead.
Right.
I don't care.
It would have been a lot closer game. It wouldn't have been such a close game if they didn't watch that goddamn Fortnite video throughout the whole of the 4th map. That's all I'm gonna say.
Boulter, I heard you threw the last map. Is that?
I wasn't on that last map.
So maybe some controversy. No, but other
Someone
than
thought it was a good idea to watch the Fortnite stream. the whole of the team.
Oh boy! All right. On a real note here, this was a lot closer than we thought, and Guyana actually missed out of the playoffs because of this match. Well, not technically because of this match, but if they would have won another map, they would have been in the playoffs. They won one map, but they had to win two maps to beat everybody else out. So they missed the playoffs, and Glass of Foot go in on top, number one team right now, and are looking pretty good. Lolly, did you see any of this game? Or Faded? Did you guys see any of this game at all?
Nope.
I casted this game. Yeah.
Oh, weird. Awesome.
Yeah. I actually loved this game. This game was super fun to watch. Actually,
Yeah.
I feel like Gahana played really well, and I was kind of surprised. I expect them to actually be based off of their performance here. I would not be surprised if Knight and if Meme Super God I don't actually plays. He didn't play this time, but I feel like if Knight continues to play like she did in that match, and then Meme comes in and plays how he's usually playing, I think if their team just plays like not bots, then they could actually run the constellation bracket, and
Yeah.
it would actually be really good. So like I'm sad they missed playoffs because I think they could have played like really well, but I'm also like it'll let you see what they can do in the constellation bracket and show that they're like not a constellation bracket team. So it's like that's my opinion on it. As for how Glass and Foot play, I mean, everyone knows I'm like the Glass and Foot fanboy of the league. I mean, I cast like a majority of their games, and I love chaos. So, you know, it's pretty known. So not really anything for me to say on that one.
Yeah. On Guyana's side, I discussed this a little bit in yesterday's episode. They lost out because of the map wins. They had one less map win than the other two teams that they were tied with, and it was due to a draw. I forget who was it against, but they had a draw earlier in the season, and that's kind of why they missed the playoffs, which kind of sucks if you ask me. But yeah, they definitely still look like a team that is strong and will hopefully do good things going on here in the constellation bracket. Um, let's move on to our next game here. Zen's Garden versus Valk's Descent. This was a 4-0 from Zen's Garden, and it was not what I expected, to be honest. I expected Valks to win a couple more maps than they did. Valks obviously missed their chance to get into the playoffs. If they would have won this match, they would have been in the playoffs, which kind of sucks from their end because everything happened that they needed to happen. Shimada Samurai's lost, Eclipse lost, so all Valks needed to do was win this game, and unfortunately, they did not do that. On the other side, Zen's headed in the playoffs on a roll here. They look like they're going to be a contender. They look like the third best team behind Aftermath and Glass and Foot, but they're definitely a team that we've seen make a run before. And I don't think it would surprise anybody if they get hot here and make a run. Lolly, why don't you give me your opinion here of this game, obviously being on the Valk side here.
Yeah, I think it was a close game. It was every map we just couldn't get those final pushes that we needed. I think if we did that, then we probably could have got a couple maps out of them, but we kept getting really close and not being able to pull it off. But, it happens, and we didn't expect miracles going against Zans. But I think it's kind of shown us who is going to be my starting six going into next season, and things are getting a bit rougher in VD, where we're just going to have that six and we're going to roll with that.
Yeah,
and try again.
I kind of discussed it yesterday too in that episode of Valks look like a team that can stay strong going in the next season, and if you guys are a team that stayed together for the most part coming into season 3, and hopefully going into season 4 you guys can do the same thing with keeping that core of people,
Yeah, no one's leaving. We've all discussed it already.
Awesome.
I've already been on them, and no, none of us are leaving. So
awesome. I'm looking forward to that. Anybody else have any opinions about this game here?
Not really. Besides the fact that I think the only team in Division 1 that can beat Aftermath is Zen's Garden. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but I honestly think that Zen's Garden sticks at number 3 and doesn't go past Aftermath. That's just my honest opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely a team that, from my point of view, we are definitely scared to go against them. They are such a strong team, and it's gonna be a great playoff match if they're the ones that make it through. Obviously, looking at it, they're the favorites to win against Shimada from everybody. To be honest, I don't think anybody would like, for the most part, everybody's picking Zens at this point. Um, but we'll discuss that a little bit more there. Yeah, so on to our next match here. We have Aftermath versus Shimada, and this ended up being a 3-2 win for Aftermath. Shimada
How did that happen?
Shimada actually put up a great fight there. Um, Aftermath won the first map. Shimada won the second and third map, and then we won map 4 and 5. So they were really close to actually winning this game, and I think it's just a matter of like they needed to win this game to like make sure they stayed in the playoffs. Fortunately for them, they lost and still made the playoffs just due to the fact that Eclipse lost and Valks lost. But Shimada's actually look like a pretty good team here. I don't think Aftermath were on their best game, I'd say. I don't think we played the best we possibly could in this game. There was definitely a lot of mistakes we made on our end. But for the most part, this was a great match just to be a part of. It was very close, and like map 4 and map 5 were very very fun just because it was such a close match. And I told Callum last week I really wanted to have like a close match like this. It makes it a lot more fun when it's close and it's not a blowout and whatnot. But yeah, Shimada do look pretty good, I'd say, going into the playoffs. And you know, maybe they could put up a fight against Zens, but to be honest, I think Zens is gonna win that one. But we'll see what they can do there. What do you guys think of this match here? Did anybody else see it? Nope. Okay.
No.
Nah, I haven't seen this.
I mean,
We did some of it.
I didn't watch it. I knew Aftermath was gonna win.
I'm surprised it was this close. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Like, that's
I'm
my
surprised, like you guys in 4-0. Like,
yeah, I was expecting a 4-0. Like, in
Yeah.
all honesty,
I
I
was just,
like.
And one thing here, if we would have 4-0'd Shimada would have missed the playoffs due to map differential. So it's like it was definitely they needed those 2 wins. So maybe that's what it was. I don't know. But yeah, and plus when all the games are on the same day and like the same like 3 hours, it's hard to watch all of them. but
Oh yeah.
but yeah.
you
So
should have.
Try cash.
We need to go back in time so you can go ahead and 4-0 them.
Yeah.
Let's go back in time. I need a time machine.
I'll see. I'll work on that one. I'll work on that one for
Alright.
sure. All right. Anything else, guys? You know about this game? What to say about this game here? You guys all good?
No.
All right. Let's move on then to Republic Rebels versus Genjutsu. There's no VOD, so.
I cast. So
Oh, good. Perfect.
it was on Twitch. It was on Twitch.
I couldn't find it, or Callum couldn't
Okay.
find it. One of us couldn't find it. And so
You're lucky that No, actually, I just want to say, Genjutsu, man, whoever Vivi is, man, keep him on your team.
Oh
Like,
my
holy
gosh.
smokes, dude. Keep that man's on your team. Like, he is your hard carry. That's all I gotta say. Like, he's the only reason they even won the one map they won. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. This man's popped off throughout the entirety of it. RR played a good game. They consistently were, I mean, they were fine. Nothing special. I think if they don't actually, I think they need to step up another level to even like to make a run into the playoffs. But we can get onto that later.
Mhm.
But Woe of R&R, Woe So High played really well. But really, I just want to talk about Vivi. Like, I mean, that guy legitimately was just popped on the Doomfist, and like he was insane. Genjutsu looked stronger, but I mean, it's against R&R, so what can we really say?
Yeah.
It's a team that still can rebuild further. I mean, it's like I don't really know what to say besides keep that guy on your team because he's gonna help you win games. I mean, it was a good game. But the score overall, like take Vivi out the equation. This is a clean 4-0. This isn't close.
Yeah.
He is a hard carry. Even when we played them, he was the only one we had trouble with. Like, we just couldn't get rid of him.
Wow.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
And he was
say,
the only one.
we had a scrim against Genjutsu too not too long ago, and Vivi was just like in the back line, just
Yeah.
terrorizing her. He's like,
Yeah.
he doesn't go. Everyone else, like to me, and I'll probably talk about this later, but to me, if Genjutsu gets better, where they can play behind Vivi and allow Vivi to pop off and give him a little extra time to get kills and get picks, Genjutsu might actually be scary for next season.
Yeah.
But if they can't do that, then VV's not going to be able. One person can't really carry 5 people.
Nah.
Yeah.
Like
Not
if
at all.
you can't do it, trade the guy to a different team because don't hold him
Yeah.
back. Like that
Yeah,
guy
for real
is
though.
absolutely insane. And
Like
the few
if he
times
would.
he died.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Like I was
No, my bad.
the few times he died, it was
No,
because
shut up,
his
Fade.
team was so fucking passive. Like I saw a tank sitting behind a support at one point, and VV's over there dying. Like I don't understand like what was happening. Like he had just killed 2, dies, and I see a tank behind a support. Like I don't know what you're doing there, buddy.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you out here.
Yeah, it's like if VV got onto a Glass and Foot type team, or an Aftermath type team, or a Zengarden type team. That team, that their DPS line mixed in with all the other great players that are already on those teams, VV
Mhm.
would be unstoppable.
Yeah.
You get VV people who know what the fuck they're doing. I'm sorry, know what they're doing at each of the roles. Done game.
Yeah, and with Genjutsu, it's hard. It's sometimes hard for a team that has no wins. I mean, this was the 3rd map they've won all season. So being in that position, it might be hard to keep people together, and we'll see how that plays out over the off season. But yeah, maybe they have something to build on for the future if they can all stay together there. Um, let's go on to our next match here. It's one that was streamed on a personal account, so the VOD is also gone. Uh, it's TLM versus Eclipsed. Um, I actually filled for this one, so I have a little bit of insight to it, but other than that, it's gone forever. Uh, TLM won 3-1 over Eclipsed. Eclipsed was a team that was fighting for the playoffs. They needed to win this match to make the playoffs, and they did not do it. They did not show up. I don't know what it was, but they lost 3-1. And I mean, really, TLM, props to them for coming out and being able to beat Eclipse, especially a team that like needs to win in the fashion that Eclipse needed to win. And TLM did the work, and it's sometimes hard when you're a team that is like out of the playoffs, you don't have much to play for. They still showed up and they still put their best foot forward here. One thing I will say about this match is Cool Dude definitely popped off here on Doomfist. He played great. Was probably the reason they won map 3, to be honest. But yeah, it was definitely a pretty one-sided match in maps 3 and 4, and it was pretty surprising to see from my perspective because I thought Eclipse would be able to beat TLM, but it just didn't happen. Yeah, that's really all I have there. Unless anybody wants to say anything there.
I just want to say Lolli, go first. I've been talking a lot.
I just think Houdini really needs a shout out for that because I think a lot of people gave him some stick for it because everyone expected Eclipse to completely wipe the floor with TLM.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they lost, Houdini still kept it together. Like, he's still trying his best. He approached it in such a good way. And I know he got upset by it, but I just think he needs props for how he's handling being a captain.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's doing great.
For sure. I think he's doing a great job, and I gotta find it here. So Faded, you go while I find it. But he sent me something to say here. But yeah, I'll find it. Go ahead.
Like my one thing that I wanted to really say was I was just baffled that TLM won. Like this is a team full of like new players, and if you're capable of doing it like to that, like I think Cloudy, you even like you said you filled for I think TLM
Mm-hmm.
to do it to that extent and with a fill at the same time. I mean, I want to give props to Vil. Like
Yeah.
holy cow, you come in for a week and you take out a team that's like in the hunt for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to give you props. Like you deserve every bit of like love towards you and things like that. And I know Cooley popped on the Doomfist. Yeah. I mean, that's cool. But I just want to say, like, as a
I get it.
captain, though, like, that's so impressive to be able to do that, especially against a team that I personally would have thought would have 4-0'd. So, Houdini, don't feel bad about it. It happens to the best teams, but for Ville, I think you have to come into this and just be like really happy with yourself and with the way your team played, especially since you recruited so many players before this match.
Yeah, for sure. And just on the idea of Houdini here. He sent me a screenshot here he wanted a little message from his team here. I'll just give a little snippet of it. There's a couple sentences here. He said, during the off season, I want smiles, laughter, and all out fun that we have together to continue on. We may know the taste of defeat, but in that we achieved victory, and always remember that. So, Houdini, keep your team together. Keep doing great things over there. We obviously enjoy seeing that stuff too. And yeah. Anything else here?
No, I mean.
All right, cool. Let's go on to our last match of the week. We have Darkmount versus SDG. The SDG.
Please, no.
The SDG era ended that day. Hashtag all in ended that day. Unfortunately, SDG could not pull that last win out. All they needed here, if they would have 4-0'd Darkmount, they could have made the playoffs. So
Come on, SDG. Come
they were so
on.
close. Darkmount coming out 4-0 in them. I think Darkmount get a nice win ahead of their playoffs run here. Maybe they can start putting things together. But yeah, SDG disappointing. Wish it could have came out. Wish it could have ended differently. I'm sure Faded will obviously have some choice words here, but
let them have it, Faded. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Let us have. Tell us
We
how you
had
feel.
Roxas on fucking Ryan, dude.
Oh God.
Really?
Really?
Look.
Oh.
You could have asked me to fill. I would have filled.
We
I definitely
needed.
would have filled.
Oh, that was. But no, we had Roxas. I just want to say, and this is sad because we have our bright spot is our DPS plays, and both of our big DPS players, I think Fireball and Vale, both moved to Elite. SDG very well might fall apart next season if Roxas doesn't like find replacements fast.
Yeah.
Like that's because I'm taking those two with me into Elites. Like we're all three moving together, and that's just. I mean, it's just funny to see it like happen because it's like those were like the star players this season. I mean, you can just go back and watch every single one of our games. The casters were constantly saying those two guys' names. So I mean, but as for that, I think DR looks strong.
Yeah.
I'm just sad, man. Like I'm
We
I'm
just
all
sad for
are.
you.
like we
I'm
get
sad for you.
4-0'd by like it's DR, man. Like I'm sorry, but like come on, like you can at least pick a map up. Like don't go out on a 4-0. Like that was my one thing. It was just sad.
I'm sad for you, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like we also
I really
lost
wanted SDG to win.
Yeah, I feel like we also lost
Yeah.
hope once Genjutsu lost because I think we had thought, with Genjutsu not getting the 4-0 playoffs was out, and so you're just like, whatever. I feel like they just like kind of lost hope there, which was rough.
Yeah, that does hurt, and Callum was very very sad about SDG losing.
Yeah.
we were all behind you. We were all hyped.
We
for
wanted
you
it, man.
guys.
We just weren't hungry enough, man. That's all it was.
But yeah, maybe SDG can win the consolation bracket. Who knows?
Yeah. I'm just gonna say, Roxas, never play Reinhardt again because your charge was. It was never off cooldown, my man. Like he charged into like 6 people at least 3 times that match. I'm not gonna lie.
And there it is. All right. So that recaps the week, and recaps the entire season. Their season is over, and now we move on to playoffs, and we kind of shift our focus a little bit. Just before we completely end this season here, let's give out some awards here. So we're gonna talk about who we think our regular season MVP is. And then we're gonna talk about who we think the best regular season tank, DPS, and support were. Um, Maybe we'll go around here. Everybody can give a couple people that fit these roles, and we'll go from there. So, who wants to start? Okay, I'll start.
I was gonna say, fuck it, I'll start. Never mind.
let's
You
go.
go, Cotty.
So
Way to take this shit.
so let me start by saying MVP is obviously very subjective. Everybody probably thinks MVP is a different thing. In my opinion, the way I look at MVP is if you remove this person from the team, they're going to lose. And it's a person like my MVP is the hard carry, the person that carries these teams. And that being said, my MVP of the season is going to be Fuelmaker. I think without Fuelmaker, Darkmount are not the team they are. They're not in the playoffs. I think they don't have as many wins as they do. I think he carried them to a lot of wins. And moving into the playoffs, I think they have to build strats around Fuelmaker because he's their best player right now. And if you remove him out of the equation, I don't think the Darkmount are the same team at all. So he's going to be my MVP for the regular season there. Um, who wants to take it here? Go ahead,
I'll
somebody.
I'll go. I got it.
All right.
All right. I have to give this MVP to someone that's not me because I didn't want to, look like an ass. But I gave it to my main man Woody, Woodballs, my main tank brother, because playing against Woody, Woody is one of the best main tanks in the league, and I'm pretty sure if you take Woody out of that Z, well, piggybacking off of what Claudia's been saying, if you take ZG out of that position, out of that main tank position, Zin's Garden would be where they are today.
Yeah.
Playing against him, playing against him in the finals, and playing against him in the last game that we had, it was. I don't mean to down anybody or anything, but one of the favorite tank on tank matchups I've ever had. I love playing against Woody because he brings that intensity. He brings, me and Chaos were talking about this other. Me and him play just alike. We're aggressive. We're both aggressive, and we play to kill each other, but we love each other at the same time.
That's awesome.
But yeah, my MVP goes out to Woody. You know what I'm saying?
I honestly think a lot of people would agree with you. He's definitely somebody that's been on a lot of people's radars this season, and he's definitely somebody that like everybody always has in the conversation for best tank in the league.
But I'm not though. That's okay.
We will get to that. Faded, why don't you give me your MVP of the season here?
My MVP. So I might be a bit biased to this. I'm gonna say, like, not performance wise, but just like stepping up and like also I just want to we'll mention it. I'm gonna go with Trill because I want you to know something. Trill leaves TLM. What happens to TLM?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to say this.
Yeah.
So then she goes to R&R. What happens to R&R? They actually look like half decent in all their games, and they're still like they lost legitimately their 6 best players.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, how does that happen? So it's like I'm gonna go with Trill. Like, she plays well. Also, it's not like she's bad. She's a great support, and she's picked up the Symmetra, which has been kind of like pretty good for R&R. But just overall, to go from TLM being a team that I had considered to be potentially a top 3 team, and then she leaves, and no one's there to take care of the behind the scenes stuff, and now TLM just falls apart. Like, how does that happen? And it makes me think that it's related to that. Is Trill is just that much of like a support and that much of like someone that everyone can count on, and to just remove her from the equation, as you like said, every team that has their like, I guess like their backbone removed, they just fall apart. And I feel like Trill is the backbone of any team that she can get onto. So I'm gonna go with Trill mainly just for that. Like, gameplay wise, we can mention other people, but I just think if we're going like running a team and like keeping a team together, it has to be Trill.
Awesome. Yeah, I couldn't agree more there. All right, Boulter, you're up.
Trill and Delirium. I'm gonna put you two together. For you left TLM and what you've done for R, you've kept them together, and you've given them a half a chance this season. So yeah, you two get my MVPs.
Awesome. Trill and Delirium. Another MVP combo. All right, Lolli, who you got?
Lolly's opinion doesn't matter. We don't want to hear from
Rude. It won't be you then, will it?
you. Oh, was it me? All right, I take it back. I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay, then I don't take it back.
I'm gonna be super biased because I'm gonna give it to Tanoko. He's definitely my MVP for this season. Ever since Ruben had to go, I had a horrible slot of no off tanks and nobody that could really play it. And he stepped up, and ever since then, he's been amazing. And I think
Awesome.
without him being there and stepping up and coming out of his comfort zone of playing support, I think he's my MVP for this.
Awesome. Yeah, we all got different MVPs. How about that? All right, well, let's move on to our regular season players that in their roles, who we think the best of each role is. I'll kick it off here. My best tank, we've already talked about him. It's Woodballs. Collie already mentioned enough about him. But yeah, I think he's been the best in the league for a couple of seasons now, and there's not really
Couple of years.
yeah, I almost said couple of years. I'm so used to talking about other sports, but couple of seasons now, Woodballs has definitely been the best tank and continues to do that and continues to lead Zen's Garden into the playoffs now, and we'll see what they can do in the playoffs. Who knows? Maybe he leads them to another finals. We'll see. My DPS player, I've got Kurisu here, and I think any team that he goes to, he always seems to pop off in some way, shape, or form. And hopefully we're going to see a lot more of that going into the playoffs here. And for support, I've got, of course, Clean Poopy. I had to do it. Clean Poopy, best support in the whole league right now. Definitely, honestly, has been carrying us through the past couple of games, coming in clutch at some points in the game, and really is a backbone to our support line. So that's my support there. Jcolli, why don't you give me your picks here?
All right. So my tanks have been divided into two
Oh boy.
because there are only two good main tanks in this league.
Oh boy.
That's me and Woody. All right. Like I said before. No, for real though. Like I said before. I've been here for 3 seasons, and this has probably been the most that I've ever played Woody. And out of all the main tanks that I faced up against and fought up against, I've never had as much fun as going up against Woody.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those things where it's just like because I know I'm not good at the game. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying, everybody else, it's okay. Maybe I am saying everybody else is bad, but don't quote. I'm sorry. I love you guys. Just get good at the game. I came over here to speak the truth.
Oh boy.
But yeah, playing against Woody is probably one of the best things about this league that I've ever that I can honestly do.
Awesome.
And the reason, I don't know, I guess the reason I chose me as an MVP and the same thing as well is because it's just the fact that, like, and this is me, stroking my ego right now. I feel like ever since season 1, between now and season 1, I've improved. And as many people as don't want to admit it, I'm not going to call any names. I am one of the best main tanks in the league. It's just I go out there and I put blood, sweat, and tears into my team. I put blood, sweat, and tears out on the game and league games. Because like I said, I come from a sports background. I've been playing sports all my life.
Mm-hmm.
So being competitive is what drives me to be better. From season 1, yeah, you could say that I wasn't good. I'd be mid-tier.
Mm-hmm.
But now you can't call me mid-tier. And any other team that I faced against knows that you can't call me mid-tier. So, again, I'm not going to call out names. He knows who he is. But, Callum. But,
Whatever, mid-tier, mid-tank.
I don't know who that is. All right.
For
Go
my
ahead with your DPS.
for my DPS, honestly, we talked about it before. Vivi, dude. Vivi. I don't know what this man does, but this man, I don't know what he eats for breakfast, but whatever he's eating for breakfast, Genjutsu needs to hop on and eat that shit for breakfast too, because that man's insane.
Mm,
Like, he's crazy. His Doomfist is insane. It never dies.
yeah.
His Doomfist never dies. He comes in, kills 3 people, and leaves. Like, he left the front door open to your house. He just comes in. You know, I've never seen a DPS like him. Well, except for Casual, but Casual's not playing. But like I said before, and I think what's his face? What's your name? What's your face? Faded. There we go. I'm sorry. I love you.
Bruh, what?
Man,
I'm about to praise you coming up, and you gonna forget my name. Nah, get out of here.
I love you. Faded.
Nah,
I love you. Faded.
seems to be a running topic here, but go ahead.
No, me and Faded both agreed on this about either his team needs to step up and help him out, or he needs to go to a different team.
Yeah.
Because if his team doesn't step up, he's gonna get dragged down along with him.
Yeah.
For my support, I'm gonna be really biased here, and it's a 3-way tie between Legit, Serenity, and Legit. I should have put Legit in the DPS category, but I decided to be nice. He really is a good Mora, one of the best Moras I've ever seen. He's kept me up in a lot of situations. So has Serenity, dealing around with me being over aggressive and shit. I mean, and all that stuff. Being the newest member of our support line has, insane. I've never seen anyone play who could flex to any off healer and still put out big healing numbers as that guy. Shout out,
Awesome.
You the best. You the best, baby.
Awesome. Lolly.
And I got one more.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So for best Jcolli,
Oh
dude,
boy.
Boulter. Boulter wins that.
Boulter, best Jcolli in the league.
Yeah, Boulter, best Jcolli in the league.
All right, Lolly. Why don't you give me your people here?
It's back to praise VD time then.
Oh boy.
All right, it doesn't matter. Get her out of here.
It's true. They're so underrated. Some of my players.
Why are you in last place? I don't know.
They
Oh
need
my
my lovely shout out.
Cloudy, come on.
You can't do that, Cloudy. Come
You
on.
are
now.
mean.
Oh boy.
That's below me.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead, Lolly.
I don't like this podcast anymore.
Lolly just
Well,
leaves right now.
Who are VG? Are they from Blackwatch? Or
What?
What?
I forgot what I was doing now. Tanks. Mine has to be 2. It's gonna be Blitz and Sewer. Like, they've came in super new, and they've been doing really well. I'm super proud of them. And I don't like playing tank, and I wouldn't like to play against people.
But you do play tank. You play Bastion.
True.
Well, apart from me, obviously I'm the MVP for that, but
Oh, wow.
them two having to come up against some of these other main tanks and still giving it their all and not once even thinking about it, I think them two need some praise. So that's what they get.
Awesome.
And DPS, me, because I'm great.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Hey, Jake.
No, it's not.
Huh?
Can't talk.
Hey. I gave a legit reason, all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Well,
you're right. I can't talk.
Yeah, you had like a whole self-appreciation.
No one else appreciates me.
Give it a minute.
Oh,
Yeah, buddy.
Trying to build up to the moment.
I can't think. Well, Phoenix, he is one of my hard carries. He pops off on everything. Every time I throw something at him, he's straight in for it. And he does a lot of the strats for us. and he talks to me constantly about ideas and things that he thinks will work better, which we need sometimes. We need someone with a fresher opinion. So he's definitely one of my MVPs for DPS. Obviously, I have so many of them, and they're all great. Like Jambo stepping up a lot as DPS, playing the hit scan for us when we didn't have them.
Awesome.
So they're definitely up there.
Yeah. All right.
Supports.
Oh, yep,
I don't
there's
like
more.
support. We have a big old team.
All my support line, they're really good.
Actually, one of them isn't from us because I have to give Eleanor her shout out. Like,
Well,
I think Eleanor is amazing at what she does on support, and I think with their team having the struggles they've had, Eleanor's been forgotten in when people are talking about support players, and I don't think she should. Like, she's still up there, and she's amazing at what she does.
Mm-hmm.
So mine
shout
would
out
be
Riggies.
Eleanor.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Faded.
Let's
Your
go.
turn.
Okay, so best tank is obviously Chaos. I mean, it's no question. Nah,
I
but for-
deserve this. I
Yeah,
deserve
for
that.
Yeah, for real though. Jcolli, I don't even care. Like, mention Wood Balls. I think the guy's good, but you cannot deny that Jcolli has been such a figure on glass and foot, and to not give him the credit he deserves. I mean, I know you're here, so I'm just gonna say it. Not give you the credit you deserve is absurd. Like, it's insane to me. Like, you are honestly, like, when I'm watching your games, people don't pay attention. They'll, like, back when Casual was on your team, I was like, casual. Yeah, Casual was good, but are they looking at everything besides the kill feed? Like, I mean, like, look at what you're actually doing. I mean, it made no sense to me. So, as a main tank, your job is to enable your DPS, and I feel like Jcolli does it the best. So that's why I'm giving him best tank. I like Chaos' Sigma, and I love the guy, but Jcolli definitely deserves best tank, in my opinion.
Awesome.
Shout out Fader.
If we're going DPS, I mean, I gotta go with probably either VV. I mean, like Jcolli said, that man's on steroids for gamers. I don't know. Maybe he like fucking injects G fuel into his veins. Or maybe even Woe from R&R, but I think VV definitely has it over him a bit. And if we're gonna go supports, I mean, I'm just gonna make this a bit quick. I'm just gonna say legit because I mean, I already named, like, he made me name him my number one support, so we're just gonna go ahead and say that. But I do want to mention Tattooed Ace of R&R is insane, and when Promi was on R&R, they did get looked over. So just keep an eye out for them when they're in the playoffs because they were really good. But besides
Awesome.
that,
Yeah, awesome. Hashtag best coach of the league. Faded.
yeah, I like it. Can we make that my official title? Come on.
I'll give you a tag in the server. All right, Boulter, go ahead, man.
Alright.
You're best for last here.
So, just because everybody else has called out their team and said
Oh boy.
their team are the best MVPs,
Uh-huh.
I'll take that approach.
What?
Here we go.
So I'm going to give 3 MVPs to my team: best tank, best DPS, best support. Best tank, Jcolli, obviously. Best support, and best DPS, legit.
There it is.
All right, now let's move on to the league. Right, here we go. Best tank, Wood Balls, hands down. Best main tank. Best support, I'm giving it to Clean Poopy. Clean Poopy
Hey.
is unreal. This guy is like the enabler for Aftermath and pops off and carries anyway. And best DPS is Slick.
Awesome.
Slick just fucking pops off for Aftermath. Actually unreal. This guy is next level. There's so many heroes. Like, he's top on so many heroes in this league.
Awesome.
DPS could go to a lot of people, but I think Slick's done a lot for Aftermath this season.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
From where they were last season, from who they picked up, Slick's the one who's made the difference.
Awesome. Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. He's been a huge part of our team, and definitely in a lot of situations has like turned things around. Like you'll think a fight's lost, and then Slick will get like a 3K. You'll be like, okay, never mind.
I don't think.
Man,
And I'll just say the best Jcolli is Boulter.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
best Boulter
okay,
is Jcolli.
yeah.
got you. So
Obviously.
Lolly, you
But
obviously have some competition here because there seems to be something
yeah,
there.
fuck off, Lolly.
That is mean. You lot are toxic today.
Right. But no, dude, Clean Poopy has Clean Poopy has gotten a hell of a lot better. I remember when Clean Poopy was on
Yep.
our team.
Clean Poopy is the success story.
Yeah, Clean Poopy
Supposed
was
to.
bad. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. Just because Clean Poopy is really good now, Clean Poopy was kind of bad on our team. And then like I remember Clean Poopy was bronze, and when we
Yep.
I thought he was on one team. We played against one team or something, or maybe it would have been a scrim or something like that. And I checked Clean Poopy's profile. Clean Poopy was like gold, like almost plat. I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, like Clean Poopy has like climbed like immensely. I was like, I'm so proud of Clean Poopy, dude. Clean Poopy's came a long way, dude. Like a long way.
Yeah, Clean Poopy was on our team last season. Clean Poopy has been on our team for a while, since like the end of season 1, and I gotta give a shout out to our coaches there because they've definitely been helping everybody out a lot, and yeah, everybody's been improving on our entire team, and Clean Poopy is definitely one that stands out, and I think is one of the major reasons that we have been so good this season compared to last season. So yeah, that's everybody there. Um, that's all of our best roles there. Um, yeah, I think that's just about it. Let's move on to playoff predictions here. And I think literally we took everybody's predictions earlier. Everybody here predicts Aftermath versus Glass and Foot. And I'd let everybody go around and say it, but everyone's going to say the same thing. So it's going to be a short segment here because everybody's predicted the same finals here. But if there is one upset, I definitely think Zen's Garden is definitely going to be a strong team. And who knows, maybe Glass and Foot chokes again in the playoffs, but you know.
No, we're gonna choke. You hear it here. You heard it here first, folks.
We were already planning to choke.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
already planned what maps we're gonna choke on too, right?
Exactly.
Come on.
Letting the internal strats out here. You got to be careful. All right, let's just preview some of the Seeks matches then. Let's look at this Zen's Garden versus Shimada Samurais match because I'm looking forward to this one. This is going to be a close one, but Zen's Garden is definitely the heavy favorite here. We've talked a lot about Zen's over the past week or two. Talked a lot about how they're in their best form right now. They have such a well-balanced team. They have such depth on their team. If you look at their roster, all their subs are even like really good. So Zen's is a hard team to shut down. And then Shimada, pretty easy to shut down to be honest. So I think this is gonna go one way, and I think it's gonna be Zen's. What do you guys think?
I think ZG is gonna take it. Just looking at just looking at I'm sorry. Just looking at all what ZG brings to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Their tank lineup, their DPS lineup, and the support lineup. Their tank lineup is just I've watched a couple of SS games, and I mean I don't think their main tank could keep up with Woody.
Yeah.
Just because Woody, like I said, Woody is so good, and plus he's being backed up by his off tank too. His off tank's not a slouch either.
Mm-hmm.
They work really well together. Ryan, one of their DPS is that, and what is it? Acid's on their team too, right?
Yeah. Yep. Acid's on their
Ryan,
team. Good.
Ryan and Acid. When Ryan pops off, I'll give him props. When Ryan pops off, the man pops off.
Yeah.
He can get hot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When he gets hot, dude, it's over with.
Yeah.
You know, same thing with Acid, but Acid is pretty consistent throughout the whole game.
And they still have Loki too. So.
Oh yeah, and Loki too. Oh my god,
Yeah.
they still have Loki.
Yeah.
Yeah, I no.
They're a scary team. They really are. And like we were talking about it in our episode yesterday, they have all the depth in the world, and
Mm-hmm.
there's no way to shut them down. And they were so bad at the beginning of the season. Like they lost a few games in like week 1 and 3, I think, and they didn't look like the Zens they were last season. And then they just turned it on in the second half of the season here, and have been like
Yeah,
stellar
and
in
that's
the
what I'm
second
saying.
half.
And plus repeating what happened last season too.
Yep.
They were just around this time
Yep.
is when GG looks scary.
Exactly.
Around this time, they could lose. They could honestly be at the bottom, still make playoffs. But when they get to this point, they just for some reason they all like fucking inject G Fuel in their veins and they're
Yep.
running like playing for like 40 hours a week, 40 hours a day, and they're just running all over the team.
Exactly. And I will say, Callum, of course, predicted Shimada Samurais. He predicted Shimada 3-2. But everybody
Z
else here predicted Zens, and they seem to be the favorite here. So, Faded, you got anything you want to say about this match here? Faded, you there?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but I think ZG takes it. I mean, Shimada just looks, in my opinion, like, yeah, they took 2 maps off you, but I think they just kind of look a bit confused at times, which is why
Mhm.
they lost some of the maps they lost against you guys. So I think ZG, I think Shimada will try to put up a fight. And I just think, like you said, ZG's just way too good. It's like the London Spitfire of the league. They'll
Mhm.
throw a few games in the first beginning and then just like all of a sudden be good for some reason and you have no idea why. It's just like
Yeah.
they just decided to, hey, we'll be bad and then we'll be good and we'll just make people think we're bad. So I think that's honestly what it was. They just wanted to make people think they were bad and then to just start winning.
That's
It's just
it.
like this is probably the one team that I think Aftermath could lose to in Division One, and
Yeah.
I think if anyone's gonna take it off of them, it's gonna be ZG. And I mean, just overall, really good team, and it's pretty clear. So
Yeah. Lolli, Boulter, anything you guys want here? You guys good? Okay. All right.
Zen's Garden's gonna win.
Yeah. Let's move on to the Division 2 matchup then. It's Darkmount versus Republic Rebels. This one's gonna be a lot more close than the Zen's Shimada one probably, and everybody kind of predicts it all around here. We got some people that predicted Darkmount. We got some people that predicted Republic Rebels. So it's not. I don't think there's one favorite here. I think this is definitely been a close match. And as I said before, Darkmount's gonna live and die on Fuelmaker. And if Republic Rebels can find a way to shut him down, Republic Rebels is gonna win because Republic have the great support line, as we've already said, and they can definitely like win this match as long as they shut down the Darkmount DPS. So, what do you guys think about this match here?
I mean, I guess with R&R, it's more or less just support your DPS players. I mean, if you can keep Drill alive on the Symmetra and just keep Woe up on the Reaper,
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty much already won because I don't think Darkmount is like no hate on Darkmount. I mean, they're okay team, but they're not. It's not like they're a stellar team either. So I think
Yeah.
if R&R like actually did what I say and like step it up to a next level, they'll beat Darkmount. Are they going to beat GIF? Absolutely not. But they'll beat Darkmount. And yes, that's. I mean, it's like they're a good team. I think they have some stuff to work on still that GIF just
Yeah.
doesn't have to work on. So I
And,
think they can beat Darkmount for sure. 3-2 is my prediction.
and just on that, I think if either of these two teams are gonna beat Glass and Foot, it's probably gonna be Republic Rebels. Like I don't see Darkmount going in and beating Glass and Foot. I think maybe Rebels have a chance, but they definitely will have a better chance to beat them than Darkmount will. So,
I
um,
Yeah.
think I think R has more of a chance of beating us than DR. And I
Yeah,
mean, I'm not
yeah,
just
yeah.
I'm not just saying it because but like I said, I think not Dark Mount. I think R is gonna come away with it
Yep,
because, like I said, I just think they're just all around a better team,
definitely.
and the fact that I I think DR still has a lot of Chiefs on their team and not a lot of Indians,
Yeah.
and so Eagles will still clash, and so again, even though you 4-0'd last week, sorry faded, even though you
It's
4
SGG. It's
yeah.
SGG. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Even though you 4-0 last week, you did 4-0 kind of one of the weakest teams in the league. At the bottom along with you, that's still not saying a lot.
Hmm.
So I think R has a chance of coming out and beating them. I think I had them 3-1. I think I'm not looking at the screen right now. Either 3-1. I think 3-1.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was 3-1.
I gave them a map.
Yep. And you're right. I think Republic Rebels have the DPS to do it, and they have the support line to do it. But my question is, do they have the tank line to do it? I don't know any player on this team that stands out to me as a great tank player, unless I'm wrong
Yeah.
here. Um,
Mm,
I
not
think
I
really.
mean,
that's good.
unless you're talking about like TC, but like
No, Republic Rebels I'm talking about.
okay, my
They
bad,
don't
my bad.
really.
I thought you
I
were talking
mean,
about DR.
Shadow played well, but he's not like an all-star. Like he's mid-tier. I think
Hmm.
he put
No,
some
that's me.
he can put some things together, but he's not gonna. I think that is probably their weakest point is the tank. That's no hate towards anybody. I'm just saying like straight up. This is my honest opinion. I think that's probably your weakest point. So if you can find a way to make that like a high tier like gameplay wise, it'll be a 4 out. But if you can't, I think Dark Mount takes a few maps or a map or two. But um, I I don't think the tank pineapple village holds them back at all. The
Yeah,
DPS are just too good to let that happen.
awesome. Yeah, I had 3-1 Republic Rebels as well. Lolli and Boulter, you guys got anything here?
um,
I think Darkman are gonna.
You think Dark Mount are gonna win? Is what you said?
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
why?
tell me your side of this, please.
I just think they're gonna, and they're just gonna come through with it. If they can like, if the few people who I think carry Darkman can come through on the day, then they'll do it. I think overall are probably more well rounded, but I'm gonna have clutch players. So
Yeah, Dark Mount does have a very large roster, and they do have a lot of depth on their team. So maybe that's
I
the
would
way they
put
win it.
I would
Good.
put faith in clutch players more than well rounded team.
Yeah,
I know that's probably not usually the case.
gotcha.
Yeah, that is a good way to kind of look at it too. I totally forgot about looking at it.
I forgot they
think
have
they, I
Dizzy
think
too, so there's
yeah,
that.
they can like. I think they can pull through.
Yeah, awesome. Lolly, what do you think?
Yeah, I think RR will win it. It might be
Yeah.
close, maybe, but I still think they're gonna come out and win it.
It seems like the general consensus is Republic Rebels, so maybe that feeds Dark Mount's hunger enough to.
Oh yeah, dude. Prove it. I talk a lot of shit. But I
Yeah.
talk a lot of shit for people to prove me wrong, dude. Like
Yeah,
honestly, like prove me wrong.
exactly.
Makes
Like
it more
show.
when you actually like try to prove people wrong. It's like
Yeah, dude. You remember people called me a mid-tier main tank all this season? Man? I've been popping off. I've been proving everybody wrong.
gosh.
Oh boy. So we're getting a little bit short on time here. So for the last consolation bracket matches, let's just run through some predictions here. Maybe a couple short things, but let's start with Eclipse versus Guyana. Um, Eclipsed are probably my team in this one that I'm gonna take. I think they have the stronger team there. I think I'd have to look at it, but I think I'd have Eclipsed here 3-1. What do you guys think about this match?
I guess I'll go. I'm taking Gahana 3-1. I
Ooh.
think Eclipsed is boomed. Sorry, Eclipsed, but you just got 4-0'd by or no 3-1 by a rebuilding team. I'm sorry, you're boomed. Not even gonna be
Yeah,
close.
that is a good point.
Gahana just had the games of their life against GIF. No, thank you. I'm not going against them.
You're right. You're right. I'll do 3-2 to Eclipse. I can give you a little bit there.
You gotta change it.
No.
Go ahead, Lolly. What do you think?
Nah, I think Eclipse are gonna win it.
Yep. 4-0 or
Yeah,
what?
I think. Yeah,
Ooh.
it might. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be massively one-sided. Like, I
Mhm.
think maybe Gahana might now have it in their heads that they're on this roll and whatever. But I think that will get to them, and even if they lose one map, that will probably tilt them enough for Eclipse to win it.
Awesome. Jcolli, what do you think?
Um, I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle of the road because at the same time, yeah, Eclipse got 4-0'd by one of the rebuilding team, but that could give them the power to come back and like, all right, we got 4-0. That's gonna give them the drive to come back and 4-0 someone else. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, but like Lolly said, but with GG at the same time, they took a map off us. Not many teams have done that this season. Um, that can give them a big head, and they can fall running off their ego trip.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, GG took a map off us. Again, not a lot of teams have done that.
Yeah.
So if they take what they did to us, taking a map off us, and bring it to Eclipse, then they could potentially win the game. So I know I gotta choose, but it's just kind of in the middle of the road for me because it's like a double-edged sword. You see what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
I can't really choose this one.
It's a tough game, kind of.
Yeah,
Like if you really think of it both ways, it's a tough game.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
All right, Boulter, who do you think here? Okay. Let's go.
You said Eclipse.
I think Jcolli Eclipse, dude.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
I just think last game GG had us at a bad game. I think Eclipse are good enough.
Okay, cool. Let's look at TLM versus SDG.
Choose your words wisely here, folks. That's all I'm gonna say.
I am gonna continue my SDG hype train, and
Yes.
Let's go.
I'm
Let's-
gonna go with SDG here. 4-0. Let's go.
What?
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Hashtag all in.
There it is.
All in.
Oh wow. Okay,
Faded's
so-
like, what? Wait a second.
I'll be the first here. I think SGG takes it 3-2. Okay, so I'm just gonna be the. I think TLM. They're. I mean, to pull it off against Eclipse. I mean, in all honesty, Eclipse does look a bit better than SCG does. So I'm just gonna say I think SCG takes it 3-2
Mhm.
if their DPS show up like they usually do. If they don't, I don't know about that one. But...
Yeah, you want my realistic prediction or what?
Nah,
No.
Alright, come on, man. 4-0,
We'll stay with 4 SDG. Jcolli, what do you think?
Oh, then I like look. I love both these
Come on,
teams.
Jcolli. You know,
I hate SDG because Roxas plays cheese characters, and Roxas knows this. But I love Roxas though. But he knows this. But I gotta join the hype train for SDG,
Yes.
dude. I don't I want them to 4-0, but realistically, I don't think they're gonna 4-0.
Yeah.
we're realists here. We're realists here.
Yeah, just looking at the people that that TLM have, that they still have they still have Cool Dude, right? TLM does.
Yeah, he's really
Yeah, so they still have Cool Dude, and they I can't remember any other players. They still have
Yeah.
They have Judge.
Judge, yeah,
Judge is really good.
But I have to, just for this hype sake, I gotta
Let's
go with SDG.
baby.
Dude.
Boulter, come on, man. I was hyping you up
Boulter.
yesterday. Give it to me.
Yes,
Give it to me.
Yes.
Let's go, baby.
Clean sweep.
Go.
Oh man, we are
You got
all. The hype train has left the station. We are on the way. Now
I like
SDG.
this podcast now. Let's go.
SDG, don't prove us wrong here. Let's go. You gotta win this one. You got all of us behind you. All right, let's predict our last one here. Valk's Descent versus Genjutsu. This one's probably going to be a clean sweep as well. I have Valk's Descent 4-0.
Woo.
What do you guys think here?
3-1 Val's Descent. VV just carries him out. That's pretty much it.
Awesome.
That's what I'm saying. VD. I think VD's gonna take it, but I think VD's gonna take it. They just gotta shut down. I mean, I think Val 16 is gonna take it. They just gotta shut down VD. If VD's team doesn't come to play, then it might as well just be VD versus VV.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of confused here. There's
That's
too
what
many
I mean.
V's. Too many V's.
If Genjutsu does not come to help VV play,
There we go.
then Valk's Descent. It's just going to be a Valk's Descent versus VV. That's it.
Yeah, it's gonna be one.
Yeah.
Because their team does not come to play. VV is the only person that comes to play,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. They don't support him. VV is literally Genjutsu right now. That's all it is.
He was on his own a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah,
got
see?
left, which we could pick him off then, and then he's not a problem anymore.
Yeah.
But they
And I
left him
feel
a lot.
VD's like hungry for a win after losing to ZG. Like in all honesty, like they want to win badly, and I just
Yeah.
don't think Genjutsu wants to win. They just don't look ready to win, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, I agree there. Anybody got Genjutsu winning?
Boulter,
Boulter?
you go against it?
No.
No.
The wise words of Boulter. One word.
No.
All right, well that's it. That just about wraps up this week's podcast. I don't think I have anything else. I'll give you guys a little opportunity here. Shout some people out if you want.
Can I ask
Good.
one question?
Good.
Are we gonna see Chaos on Genji again, or is that like a one-time thing? Like I'm honestly...
That was a one-time thing. All right.
man.
We said, look. I already got an earful from Boulter when we told him that we lost a map and that we were like all watching. Well, I think it was like me and Legit watching the stream, the whole entirety of like the last map. Like literally, if you like Faded, you casted that game, right?
Jcolli was just sitting on cart.
I was sitting on payload, just
sat on
emoting.
cart dancing for like
Oh
good
my
part of that
lord.
map. Like it
And
was
that-
a joke.
Like I was just so I already got an earful of that. So no, it's not. And I wanted to come on the podcast because I kind of feel bad afterwards that wanted to apologize for to GG, telling them that we didn't play at our 100% the whole entire time, and not in just being like realistic here. If we were playing 100% the entire time, they wouldn't have taken them out from us. But because we were all dicking around and being idiots, and they did, like I said, it happens, and I have to take full responsibility because when it comes to that, like playing serious, that's all about me. That's my competitive side, and I didn't do that, and so I do, like to apologize to them.
I think everybody's susceptible to that at some point. You guys have been on top of the league the entire season and been 4-0ing teams the entire season. So literally the last map of the entire season. So everybody's a little susceptible to that on some level. But yeah, that's awesome.
I just want to see more Chaos Genji. Like that was funny.
He said he was gonna do it too. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna play Genji." It was like, fuck it. That's literally what it was like.
I didn't even notice for a good bit, and then I just look over to the screen because I'm just so not used to it. So I look over the screen and it's like, is Chaos on Genji? Like you can hear it in my casting. It's like,
oh man. All right, let's wrap it up here. Thank you guys for listening. There's been some role changes in the server, so if you want to get pinged every time there's a new podcast, make sure you get the podcast role in the server.
You should link me that bonus episode.
Yes, I will get that to everybody shortly, as soon as I upload it. Because technically we're recording this and it's not uploaded yet, but we will get that out probably right after we're done here. But yeah,
nice.
Everybody else good here? We all good? We all happy?
Shout out Jeff. We taking it. We choking this time. We choking 3 times as hard, alright?
Ooh.
We're not even showing up.
Forfeit in the final.
We forfeit.
Yo, that would be the perfect way to end your season too.
Oh yeah, it's my last season. Oh yeah. Before we go. I wanted to say this too. I know. I'm sorry keeping the podcast long too. But for everybody's gonna watch this, this past 3 seasons, have been, as you guys know, if you hasn't heard already, this is going to be my last season for now. I'm hanging up my hammer. I figured it's for school, and I figured it's time for me to pass the torches on to the other main tanks. Plus, I'm tired of bullying everybody, you know. But I would just like to say, and I'd like to thank everybody who have made friends with over the past 3 seasons, who have friendships. You guys, even though I don't talk to everybody in the league, you guys are a lot like family to me, and I really appreciate you guys. Just hanging out with me and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just dealing with my bullshit, and all that. And and plus I'd like to thank my team, legit, and Boulter and all them. You guys have been tremendous, and I love you guys so much. You guys are literally like my family, and being with you guys for these 3 seasons have made me improve, not as a player but as like an actual person. Next season, because we don't know what's going to happen to Jiff. Next season, if Jiff is still here, if Jiff gets an elite team, I wish you guys luck throughout all your endeavors. And I'll still be around, but I ain't gonna be playing. I'm just gonna be talking shit like I usually do.
Aww.
But
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Cry, man.
He's gonna give me tears.
I'm gonna cry over here, bro.
Oh.
but for real, I think each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart, and good luck this season, because you never know, your boy might come back and pop a mean shatter or two. You know what I'm saying? But
I don't think there's any better ending than that. That was beautiful.
It is.
Thank you, everybody,
all
for
right,
coming.
now delete that part because no one needs to know about my sister's side. All right.
It was just between us 5, yes.
Yeah.
Alright, guys. I will see everybody next week. Thank you, everybody, for being on in this rough week here where Cal and Lucky both couldn't make it. Thank you for the last minute stuff here. It's been great. And I will see you guys soon.